Where does Fort Wayne rank? So today we are going over 9 top rankings as people are looking all across the country where they might want to move. Maybe you're looking into Fort Wayne, that's probably why you're watching this video, but we have already done the work for you, so follow along, stay with us as we go over 9 of the top rankings about Fort Wayne. My name is Caleb Ellington, I'm a local realtor here, and thank you for following our page. If you have any more questions, want more information, give us a call, shoot us an email. We would love to connect with you to help you make this journey to Fort Wayne, Indiana. All right, one of the first rankings we're covering is population. So Fort Wayne is the 83rd most populated city in the United States. It's not too big, not too small. In our opinion, that's a great thing. Indianapolis, which is about 2 hours away, they are ranked 16th in the country. And so having that population is actually just a perfect size for many people. It's not that huge city with a ton of traffic, tons of people, taking you 2 hours to get home or an hour to get home from work. So that's one of the great things, but also what a lot of people love about Fort Wayne is that it is perfectly located from some of those really big cities where you can go in about 2 to 3 hours. We're talking Detroit, Dayton, Columbus, Indianapolis, Chicago. So if you're wanting to go to one of those big cities, maybe it's a sporting event, maybe it's a show, the theater, something, shopping, you are just a few hours away. Fort Wayne has actually had the largest population growth in the Midwest since 2020. And I think you'll understand why once we go over the rest of these rankings. A lot of people are moving to Fort Wayne for a lot of different reasons, and we're gonna cover some of those today. But feel free to check out all of our other videos that we've covered Fort Wayne, and I think you'll find out why Fort Wayne is an amazing destination. All right, this next ranking is the housing market. Fort Wayne was actually ranked #1 by the Wall Street Journal for the housing market. So in Fort Wayne, just 2.3% really of properties are at risk for some of the 5 major catastrophes that could happen. You know, wind, fire, flood, some of those kind of major catastrophe things that could happen. So that's one of the reasons it's a great place to move. It's also a great place to invest. With the low inflation rate here as well, and we're seeing property values steadily go up, which is really what you want to see in a healthy market. It has not skyrocketed like some of these places. I lived in Florida for a while, and I mean, they just skyrocketed over a couple years. I mean, double and tripling in price, which kind of pushed a lot of people out of the market. And that's really a lot of the phone calls that we're getting from all of you, all of our watchers is, hey, I am getting priced out of my city that I live in, and I have got to move. I've got to find a place that my money is gonna go a lot further for myself, maybe for my family. And so we're getting those calls from all over the country, and people are deciding to make the move to the #1 housing market in the United States. All right, the next ranking is from the US News and World Report. Fort Wayne came in as the #1 most affordable place to live. So like I said, with the housing prices, the mortgage prices, your rent prices well below the national average, it is just a great place to live. Your money goes a lot further. As we dive into the statistics, we also find out that food, gas are well below the national average. Utilities are actually 19% below the national average as well. So what we're finding is people are moving here from all across the country, like I've said, and realizing that, oh my goodness, I can buy a much bigger house, maybe the house of my dreams, for a lot cheaper than I can in my city. And I also have a lot more money in my pocket. So I just recently talked to one of our friends who moved here from across the country, and he's just telling me his electric bill is just hundreds of dollars cheaper. And so he just was basically saying, man, it's just balancing everything out. You know, they bought a really nice home here in Fort Wayne, kind of stretched themselves maybe just a little bit on that mortgage, and they're like, man, you know, it's gonna be tight, but you know, we're gonna be able to make it. Then I just talked to him yesterday, and he's like, man, our electric bill, dude, is hundreds of dollars cheaper. So that balances out kind of stretching ourselves to buy maybe a little bit bigger house. So knowing that it's the #1 most affordable place to live in the country, your money is gonna go a lot further. All right, the next ranking is family friendly. So Fort Wayne came in as the 6th best city in the country to raise a family. So actually 30% of the homes here have children in them. And with the crime rate, which I'm going to touch on here in just a second, well below the national average. Many parks, recreational activities, sporting things for the kids. As you look at the school ratings as well, so many different schools to choose from that are rated very, very high for education here in Fort Wayne. It's just a great place. So I have 3 children and we have loved living here, loved having all the different activities for our children. The Fort Wayne Zoo is one of them. That's a great attraction here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. People actually do travel here just to come to the zoo and to check it out, just like I have gone to the Cincinnati Zoo for a trip, to Chicago just to check out those different zoos. So Fort Wayne is also kind of that destination place as well. All right, the next one is kind of an interesting one because not every city has a river, but the River Walk here in Fort Wayne is ranked 7th in the country for the best river walk, the best kind of activities around a river. So check out some of our other videos, but you can look up Promenade Park that was built recently. It's just such a beautiful place to go right by the river. They actually have outdoor ping pong tables, different activities that you can do, swings, great picture opportunities as well. Right there is Fort Wayne Outfitters, which you can rent a canoe, rent a boat, go down the river. I have done that many, many times. I love getting on a kayak, going up and down the river. It's just such a unique way to view the city, especially your first time when you live in a city your whole life and really have never seen it from that perspective. It's just really, really beautiful. So knowing that Fort Wayne has built so many different things around the rivers and around the waterways here to enjoy, not just kind of, yeah, we have a few rivers, but built many different things that you can take your family there or just go for a day, a nice warm day, and go on the river walk. Get in a kayak and kind of enjoy some of those sporting activities. So Fort Wayne is growing and they are investing millions and millions of dollars to continue to build parks, trails, activities around the rivers as well. So it's just a great place to enjoy. All right, the next ranking is we are in the top 50 for one of the best run cities. So really what that's talking about is your local mayor, government, and how they are using the funds, you know, basically our money, right? Our tax dollars here in Fort Wayne, which, by the way, our taxes are really, really low. When I talk to people that are moving here from across the country, that's one of the things that they're worried about, is because their taxes are just, especially property taxes, can be astronomical. But when they move here to Fort Wayne, that's one of the first questions they ask you: what are my taxes going to be? What are the property taxes? And I'm like, well, actually, they're really, really low. With the mortgage exemption, with your homestead exemption here in Fort Wayne, realizing that your taxes are going to be drastically lower here than where you're from, which is what we're hearing from people all across the country. That's nice to know. But one of the best run cities, meaning, again, that they are using the money to build up Fort Wayne, to make it more enjoyable for us. So it's not just being used to pad people's pockets, but they're actually investing into Fort Wayne and building more things downtown. Like I said, the parks around the rivers, things for the Fort Wayne and surrounding area residents to enjoy. So that's why it was ranked in the top 50 as best run cities. All right, one of the next rankings comes from Wallet Hub, and this is about safety. This is also one of the biggest things that people ask us is, okay, how's the crime? And Fort Wayne comes in as the 5th most safest places to live in the country. Violent crime, property crime is well below the national average. So with local police and neighborhood watches and things like that working together, those statistics have drastically reduced over the past 10 years. So knowing that you're going to move really to a really safe environment, a really safe city, that's just comforting. I live in a safe neighborhood. I can't tell you one crime that I know that's happened in my neighborhood. Of course, in every city, with 300,000 people or so, there's going to be some crime, but there's really not an area. People ask us, well, is there any areas I really want to stay away from? And my answer is not really. There may be, as you look at, the statistics on a map, there may be some areas that, it's a little bit more crime in those areas, property crime, things like that, maybe people breaking into cars. There may be a few areas like that, but for the majority of Fort Wayne, it is just a very, very safe place to live. And I think, again, if you're living your life, doing the things that you want to do, going to work, going out to eat, enjoying your time with your family, things like that, it's really not something I ever think about. My friends, I don't have, I have a few friends, not a ton, but I don't have any friends that I've experienced any violent crime, really any property crime that I know of here in Fort Wayne. So just rest assured, when you move here, it's going to be very, very safe. All right, now I know this one is going to interest some of you. So HDTV says that Fort Wayne is ranked in the top 20 for the best places to live for remote workers. And this kind of comes into play with a lot of things that I've already talked about. If you're a remote worker, being able to work from home, having a safe environment, but also having a lot more money in your pocket. So HGTV kind of takes in a lot of those different categories to decide, where do these different cities rank. And so knowing that Fort Wayne is the most affordable place to live, and it's a really good run city, and our taxes are going into more activities for you to do. So the art community here in Fort Wayne is also growing and really big here in Fort Wayne. There's actually over 150 murals across Fort Wayne. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of taken away from any graffiti. I really don't see much graffiti here in Fort Wayne because I think they've given some of these local artists maybe an outlet so they don't have to do graffiti. It's like, hey, here's a huge space, like go at it. And they're beautiful. So it's kind of fun if you ever want to do like a scavenger hunt or kind of check out all the different murals, to kind of travel around and find all these beautiful, really pieces of art that are alongside buildings here in Fort Wayne that local businesses have said, yes, you can put something beautiful on this building, this brick building here in downtown Fort Wayne. So knowing that, like I said, you're a remote worker, you're able to work from home, but then able to leave your house and enjoy the city and having a lot more money in your pocket, it's why it's one of the 20 best places for remote workers. All right, the next one and the last one, where does Fort Wayne rank, is best places for growth opportunities from smartasset.com. Job opportunities that are diverse and with a medium annual housing cost that is actually relatively low. Fort Wayne is the 5th best job diversity score across the country. And what that does is, that measures the variety of industries available in the area. Knowing that unemployment also ranks as the 23rd lowest across the country. Income growth. Now this is huge for a lot of people. They want to know, okay, if I move there and I get a job, like, do I have an opportunity to grow? And that's really what this category is all about. Can I grow into something else? Is there room for growth? Is there room for me to make more money in Fort Wayne? And the answer is definitely yes. So Fort Wayne also ranks 9th at your income growth being at 13%, as you live here and as you grow in your career. So knowing that you have that opportunity to continue to grow your income while living in Fort Wayne is really just a huge thing for a lot of people. So, being able to keep your cost of living low, which is what you want in a great city. My cost of living is low, but I have the opportunity to grow my career and to make more money. So I hope you really enjoyed watching this video today on where does Fort Wayne rank. I think you can see that with it being ranked really number 1 in a lot of categories, but definitely in the top 20, the top 50 in many other categories, as one of the best cities in the United States to move to live to. We really hope that you'll give it a shot. So if you have any questions, please give us a call, shoot us an email. We would love to set up a time to talk to you and help you if you decide to move to Fort Wayne, because we love talking about Fort Wayne because it's the city we love and we hope it's your next home.